Miss Reba McEntire, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Been a busy day, but I'm really grateful to get back into the swing of things of working.
For sure. I'm so glad to hear that. I have to tell you that I just loved listening to Revived, Remixed, Revisited. It was so fun. It was like a live concert mixed in with a dance club, mixed in with a trip down memory lane, all into one. And it was so wonderful.
Wow, I need to write that down. You've described it better than I ever have.
That's amazing. Tell me, how did the idea to do this box set with these three specific themes come together?
Well, because I have gone back to Universal Records as my record label now. Universal had the idea of revisiting my catalog, and I thought, well, that's a good idea. She said, you haven't spent, the Cindy Maid was telling me this. She said, you haven't spent that much time on your catalog. And I said, well, because I always look forward. What's our next project? I'm not the person to look in the past. And she said, you got a lot of great songs, and you've got generations who haven't heard these songs and the stories behind them. So we went into Game Plan 101, and the Universal team, my team, all joined together and made it happen. And I couldn't be more proud of all the things they thought up and the ways to do it.
Amazing. It's amazing. I was going to say, like, just all of these different songs. There are 30 different tracks, which are like the most iconic Reba songs to me. And I feel like the one that I noticed, though, that is only on all three of the albums is Fancy. Why is that?
Well, Fancy is pretty much my signature song, even though I didn't have the first cut on it. Bobby Gentry, who wrote it, did. But I do find it's my signature song. It's the last song I perform at my concerts, so I save the best for last, in one way of putting it. The red dress, my red hair, everything about Fancy says Reba. So that was the one that we wanted to put on each album, the band playing it with me, doing a dance mix on it, and then Dave Cobb's version of it, more stripped down acoustic version.
Now, I love the original version of Fancy, but I do have to say that the remix version is so much fun.
It is fun, isn't it?
It's amazing. I love that. And these songs, these are ones that you've lived with for a long time and you performed for many years knowing them one way. Was there any song that was hard for you to imagine being redone at any point?
Well, the dance mixes were at first when they said, we're going to put I'm a Survivor into a dance mix. And I said, and how? That's really weird. But it turned out great. I was pleased with all of them. The difference in most of the songs with the Dave Cobb sessions are that they're more laid back and relaxed, which I totally enjoy. One thing that you do when you're on stage a lot, you start making the songs a little faster, keep everybody, because you're playing them for, gosh, Fancy, I recorded it in 90, and here we are in 2021 still performing it. So it's you kind of have to sometimes reinvent new ways, find new ways of playing it. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's faster. So with the Dave Cobb mix, it was slower and more in a groove than the way we recorded it before. So I think everything we did was to improve. In my way of hearing it, I thought it was all an improvement, kind of brought it up to speed, up to date. But the thing about these songs, they're timeless. They will be relevant 50 years from now because they're just great songs. And I can say that I didn't write them. I just recorded them. So I'm bragging on all the writers.
You can say that. You can brag on everyone, including yourself. Did you have a favorite of the Revive Remix Revisited?
Whoo. Well, because they were all my babies at the beginning, and thanks to radio and my fans taking it all to number one, except Fancy, that wasn't a number one record. I think
Which is so crazy.
Yeah, 7 or 8 on the charts.
That's unbelievable.
I guess Fancy's my favorite. It's always been my favorite. I'm going to Take That Mountain was great on the dance remix. I'm just thrilled with all of them, how they turned out. Consider Me Gone was one song on Dave Cobb's session of Revisited that I really enjoyed because it did slow it down and it pulled back a lot of the confrontation in that song. Mm-hmm. It was like more mellow. So I liked it better.
I love that. And then with your legendary career and all of the accolades that you've ever had, I thought it was so cool that you still have a first on this album because this is the first time that you and Dolly have ever done a duet together. Why did it take this long?
That's a good question. She's asked the same thing. I've asked the same thing. But everything happens for a reason and timing is everything. So it worked out perfectly well.
I think it's a good example of just like two women with very busy schedules. Like sometimes it takes a while to see the people that you need to see.
True. Very
For
true.
sure. What was it like getting to record with her and then do the music video as well?
Unfortunately, we didn't get to record together because of COVID, but we did get to be in the same venue to do the video, which was a blast. Anytime you get to spend time with Dolly is fun, entertaining. We visited about family and friends and COVID and what we're doing at home and how we're passing the time during COVID. Of course, she stayed busy as she could be, of course. And it was just good to get reacquainted with her and get to visit.
Oh, I'm sure. And between the two of you, how many outfit changes do you have in the music video?
Just one. We only have
Just
one.
Yeah, that's so not on brand for Reba.
That's true. We're doing a little paying homage to the original video that I did with Linda Davis, and that what I'm wearing, what Dolly's wearing, and it just turned out really good. And I think the fans will get a big kick out of looking at the video and saying, "Oh, she did that because."
Oh, I love that so much. I can't wait to see it. And I have to tell you, I am living for the fact that your Instagram feed the last couple of weeks has been all about your Lifetime Christmas movie. And then, of course, the box set, Revived, Remixed, Revisited, and also Ted Lasso.
How about that?
Have you been watching and loving and keeping up with this?
Oh, absolutely. We were scrolling. We had just gotten through with a series and we were scrolling, trying to find something new. And I saw Ted Lasso. And so we clicked on it. This was when it first started. I think we got to watch 2 episodes and then wait for the next week. We usually love to binge watch, find something that's already out for 2 seasons at least. But fell in love with it. At first, I was like, I don't know what this is about. And the second episode is like, oh my gosh, I'm hooked. It has such heart. It's funny, really, it's silly, it's goofy, but boy, if you've got heart, that's a winner for me.
I know. It really does feel like it's just like such a dose of happiness. Like I've never finished an episode and felt sad. Like I always walk away and I'm like, oh, I want to be a better person. Like
exactly.
You want to make Ted proud. And I know obviously they mentioned you in the show. I feel like we really need like a Reba cameo on Ted Lasso. Would you ever consider doing that?
I would absolutely. What's my call time? I would absolutely do that.
I feel like a Reba McEntire, Ted Lasso pregame pep talk like could not be beaten. That's Emmy winning material for sure.
Would I have to talk as fast as he does?
I don't know how Jason Sudeikis takes all of those lines and says those as fast as he does.
Can't you see him doing that fast in his accent? And they look at me like, what did he say? And I said, well, he said, I'll just tell you right now.
See, you've got it scripted and ready to go. I also wanted to ask you before I let you go, you're getting ready to wrap up your Vegas residency this December with Kix and Ronnie. How are you feeling about that coming to an end?
I'm very sad. We've had a great time. We started in 2015, and besides last year, played every year. And I miss it. I'm going to miss it tremendously. When they told me the news, I was like, well, dang. So we'll see what happens in the future.
I'm sure that's a good time for you guys to get to spend time together and catch up with busy schedules and everything when you're all there to be in Vegas.
Yeah, and you're in the same venue. You're in the same hotel room. People come from all over the world to see you, and friends and family come in. So it's really going to be missed.
That's amazing. I'm so excited for you. Reba, this album, this box set is so amazing. I had such a great time listening to it. Thank you so much for your time today. It was wonderful to see you and catch up.
Thank you. Good visiting with you too.
Take care, Reba.